Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. But for some reason, whenever I went to go live, it just would not connect to the live. Um, I apologize. Hi, Alex. Hi, Louise. Hey, Dana. Well, okay, we got our first rig spotting of the day. You heard me start talking. Hi, baby. Come on. Okay, now he's going away. Sorry. For those who are new, that's my dog Riggs. And as soon as he heard mommy start talking, he had to come in and investigate what I was doing. So this is the third installment on this picture. I'm going to move her down a little bit here. And hopefully I can finish this today. I'm going to try really hard. And I have decided that on the Ruffle, I am going to do, forgive my squeaky chair. Now my chair is squeaking like mad. I'm going to start with the Ruffle, and I'm going to start with purple to kind of match her, bring out her eyes a little bit. Hey, Renee, you missed my technical difficulties. So I'm just going to I'm using mauve, which is 249. I'm surprised I can see that. I'm just doing a light layer over some of these dark areas here. I'm just kind of pushing them in there because I want the I want these dark areas to give it dimension. And as I said, I'm hoping to finish this today. I have to admit, the pearls are giving me nightmares. I didn't think about it whenever I chose this page. It's like you're gonna have to do pearls. And pearls and round things are not my forte. I totally and completely admit that doing pearls and bubbles are not something I'm really good at. But we'll give it a try, you know. Yeah, you can see that. I thought about liquid pearl, and I have them, but since they're so big, I think I would probably mess up the whole thing. Have an idea. I just we'll see how it turns out. We're going to do the Ruffle first. And I know Dana's new. There's two more there's two more streams in the last 2 weeks. Shoot, I spent an entire stream last week doing just her hair, which fiddling with the hair just to get it right. It's not the thing to remember if you're new and you're coloring, it's not how fast you can get something done. It's and you can fiddle for as long as it takes to make it look the way you want it. Um, I am coloring on Nina paper, which is currently my go-to. But if you don't have Nina paper, you can color on. I like Nina because I don't like a lot of tooth to my paper. I am a I just to me whenever I'm coloring on toothy paper, it doesn't turn out the way I want it to. And I'm going to turn the page here. I'll try to alert you if I start turning the page. Um, but grayscale is awesome because kind of gives you where your shadows are going to be. Um, and I'm excited because this time next week, I will have one of Renee's husband Bob's awesome pencil holders. Um, he he was wonderful enough to make me one, um, and sorry, nosy itch. Um, so I'm looking forward to getting it and being able to use it and to be able to keep my pencils all organized and neat and straight. Um, if you and I will definitely be showing that off next week. Um, and if you don't know what I'm speaking of, Renee has them. Hi, Carolyn. Hey, Dee Dee. Did I say hi to you, Wendy? I'm sorry. Yes, I think it's pretty, Renee. Um, he actually did it for me, and it is two-tone purple and white. It is a stunning. Renee sent me a picture before she shipped it, and I have to admit I was kind of blown away. So, if you don't know, Renee's husband sells these really cool colored pencil holders. They have they tilt out uh, slots for pencils, and they redesigned it so it will actually hold the Crime Dash, Luminance, and the Dewent Light Fast pencils. So the holes are a little bit bigger than the originals, and you can put your colored pencils in there, and they tilt. The pencil holder actually tilts in rows of, I think it's 5, correct, Renee? Okay, Renee sells them. Bob just does all the work. Um, it was awesome. Renee actually gave me a tour of her husband's workspace with the 3D printer. Um, Blown away with the color choices, blown away with his setup. Um, Bob's setup is almost, not quite, as impressive as Renee's coloring corner. And if you have not had a chance, you can look at Renee's videos on her coloring corner. It's amazing. Um, she is someone to go look and say, someday I will get there. I think she's getting close to having almost every pencil known to mankind. Uh, and anyway, Renee is a very talented lady, and so was her husband. Hey Renee, can you tell that that I am actually very excited about getting this pencil holder. I'm sure you can tell by my voice. Um, Not excited. No, 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 no. Not excited at all. Um, I think I just colored over some of the shell here. Tammy, hello. For those who do not know, Tammy is also an awesome colorist and has her own channel. She streams right after me, but she told me that she is not streaming today. And if that has changed, Tammy, let me know. Um, Tammy is gearing up for production of Cinderella that her and her daughters are in, and it's coming down to the D date of the opening night, so they're having rehearsals and double rehearsals. Yeah, Tammy is Australian, which makes her even if you're from the United States, makes listening to her even funner. Hold it. Did I just invent a word? Yeah, she told me the other day, she goes, you can go as long as you want because I'm not streaming. And it's like, that is so sweet. Not a, it is this coloring community is just absolutely awesome. So I've got my base colors down, and I'm going to go with a little lighter purple. And I know these colors. These are Polychromos. They are my favorite pencil. They are my go-to pencil. But I always look to make sure that I'm going lighter. Whenever I'm looking at pencils, and I'm going to pick up my mauve again. Kind of get that little side ruffle there toward her back, because we want to make sure that do a little bit along the edge here. Coloring with two pencils in your hand is not always the ideal thing. And I do it amazingly frequently. For some reason, and then it's like, why is this not going on the way? Well, your hand's filled. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Sherry. The foot is still hurting. For those who don't know, I broke my toe. Actually, I kind of rather smashed my big toe on my right foot. I broke it by kicking a concrete step, and then to add insult to injury, I grabbed a water jug to give Riggs, my beloved puppy, some fresh water, and hit a lead pipe, and ended up dropping a lead pipe on top of the already broken toe, which basically just shattered the bone, the in bone of my toe. So as long as I'm sitting still, I'm doing pretty good. It's getting up and walking that's an issue. But yeah, it's getting it. It doesn't hurt as much the day I did it, but as long as I don't walk a lot, I hardly feel it at all, unless I bump it. Got a little bit of skin color there. And what I'm doing is just going over kind of the edge of this lace to define it. I don't plan on making the whole thing this dark purple, but there's so many little ridges, and since it's a ruffle, that I want to make sure I define that edge a little bit, so it can be, you can see where the edge of the lace is versus just going off into nothingness. Um, oh no, Timmy. Oh no. I'm assuming it's a front tooth. Are you going to be able to get it repaired before you have to go on stage? Um, I'm not even going to ask what type of spanner you were using. Uh, um, because that could lead for all kinds of adult content. Um, my channel is adult content. I have been kicked out. I have been Nightbot has kicked me out of streams for my being too adult. Does not surprise me that Renee's Nightbot was doing crazy things. I was in stream. Nightbot does not normally like me. So, but can you tell us the? Okay, you're going to the dentist. That's good. It's strange. I don't mind being hurt, but I don't want my friends to get hurt. I'm weird. Me being hurt is just part of my life. It seems like I was not blessed with grace whenever I was born. I am a klutz. Have been my entire life. So when I get injured, it's kind of like, well, I've done it to myself again. Now, if you want really beautiful clothing coloring, check out Appetite for Coloring, Tanya. She does some of the most amazing stuff with clothing. I strive to be as good as she is with clothing. She is just, she's an amazing colorist all the way around, but her clothing is always spectacular. Looks like you could touch it and actually wear the items. So yes, the Genie in the Bottle page. Oh my gosh. I did not get to see her live stream. I was actually working, trying to finish up something. So, but since Emily did not stream yesterday, I got a chance to watch the Genie back. But yeah, if you want to see impressive, Tanya is awesome. And I will freely promote almost anybody. Emily! Yay, Emily! Emily is also someone that, if you're new to the coloring community, you need to check out Emily. She does the most spectacular. The woman puts down layers and layers and layers of color, and yet it looks so soft and pastel-y, and it's like, Emily is awesome. Yes, want everybody to subscribe to me, but I have my favorites too. I admit that I'm a fangirl of Emily. I'm sorry. Hey Marilyn. Hey True and Ruthie. Oh, I'm sorry, Louise. Bye. Happy weekend. Oh, choose your own adventure. That is so cool. I'll be honest. Whenever I was a young child, my favorite person to read to me was my brother because he would do all the voices. Okay, now I'm finally switching over to Violet, and I don't have the Violet. You're turning Violet on my channel. And if you don't know what that's from, let me direct you to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Again, I'm just putting a light layer of this violet on. Just trying to get a base down. I'm going to do the front and the back, and then I'll go in and probably darken up some of the back. But I'm just trying to get the sense of where we're going on the color. Hey, Alex. Yeah, I said hello to you, Alex. I said hello to you in the original stream that I had to, it would not connect. And I know why it wouldn't connect earlier. I had forgotten to turn off my work computer, and for some reason, because I'm on the VPN, on a VPN with work, if I don't turn off my work computer, it actually kills my upload speed because of the VPN. I know VPNs are supposed to be awesome, but for some reason, now I have like a 20 20 meg upload, but with my work computer working turned on, I have 5, and that's one of the reasons why I could not get connected to the stream earlier. I didn't have enough upload to actually connect. So I had to turn off the work computer and then redo the stream. And I knew better, but Emily this morning not only did a live, but then she posted a Let's Talk segment. If you have not checked out her Let's Talk segment, they're new today. It started today. She's going to be posting short videos about very interesting coloring topics, and they focus on one item or one thing per episode. So Um, and Emily, I apologize. I didn't even look how long it was whenever I didn't catch the premiere. Had to let the puppy dog out, and I ended up watching it back before Renee's, and I didn't even look at how long. It seemed like it was really short, and I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm so used to Emily going 2+ hours, but um, it seemed very short to me. But and I didn't even notice the time. Um, and you know a presenter is good whenever you don't even notice the time passing. How's it looking, guys? So, is it starting to look like an actual ruffle? Ruffle? Oh my goodness gracious. Emily missed seeing Riggs. He was in here first thing. Emily has Paul, her gorgeous gray and white cat. Um, he is just an absolute looker, I'll tell you. Um, I have Riggs. Um, Riggs hears me talking, and he has to come in and see who I'm talking to. Um, he was barking at Tammy the other day while we were chatting because he had to get in on the conversation. You know, he's a typical kid. He's got to be in on the conversations. He's got to make sure everybody knows he's there. I'm being really bad. I'm not watching chat. Yes. Well, Emily, of course he's ignoring you. You know, you're just a vehicle to his fan base. I mean, he knows that the people that are watching you are just enamored with him and just adore him and love him to pieces. He has to get his fulfill his fangirls uh, craving for his presence, and it was because you gave him catnip. Yeah, he's probably sleeping over a kitty high. Um, okay, I'm putting the violet down. I noticed I missed the edge here on this section. But by edging, there's definitely a demarcation of between the ruffles, since she has multiple ruffles. I thought about doing it in multiple colors, and I thought, no, the main focus is her face, and I don't want to take away from her face, because she's a beautiful image. Um, and this is the first time I have colored Nino Kurt's pictures. I actually found their art, his art. I'm going to say his. It may be a girl. I'm not sure. Um, their art. This is an Etsy purchase, um, and I will go back and link. I in the original stream I actually had the link for their page. I was so organized. I had it, ready to rock and roll, and then it decided to go do me dirty. And But what, for those who are new, Dana, um, getting definition on something like this is, in my opinion, all about the shadows. Um, Others may disagree with me, but adding the shadows in with a darker color will give define. But you'll notice I'm doing real light layers. It looks like I'm hardly touching the page, because I am hardly touching the page with the pencil. Um, Light layers do is an awesome way to go. It may take you a little bit longer to color a section than if you smash it down, but the results will be much better. Um, your end results will look like they actually have depth. And yeah, you can tell whenever I'm concentrating not to go out the lines, I shut up. Um, I want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Um, I very much appreciate you guys joining. I'm relatively new to the streaming community. I've been around the coloring community for multiple years. I actually started coloring, adult coloring, probably back in 14, 15. I've colored. I actually took some art classes in college and did coloring and attempted to paint. That's where I get the water water mediums are not my friend. Um, I had to do watercolor in college, and talk about disaster. Um, I'm actually getting more comfortable with them. Um, and I think that is because I did a picture in Inktense, and it actually turned out halfway decent, which surprised the heck out of me. Um, so I figure if I could do Inktense, I can do watercolor. I have yet to do watercolor on stream, but I will. I will get up the nerve. I promise, guys. I will get up the nerve. Um, and I actually thought about doing what Renee was doing was laying down a base color on her Ruffle, but I thought no. I've started with colored pencils. I'm going to stay with colored pencils. I think I'll get the effect that I want with colored pencils, and it won't overwhelm her face, because her face is the main focus of this picture. Which I actually am very pleased with how her face turned out. Um, um, that's why, um, there's sometimes whenever I look at a picture and I think, what the heck did you just do? It just that's horrible. But once you start adding the hair and everything around what you just colored, i.e., the face, all of a sudden it comes together and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't look too bad. Um, and all pictures go through ugly duckling stages. Yes, feed Bob. He needs to make more pretty stuff. Um, but you know, you'll hear streamers talk about the ugly duckling stage. Emily calls it the ugly teenager stage, which I think is hilarious. Um, where it just looks, no matter what you're coloring, there's a stage where it just looks like, oh, this picture is not going to turn out. And in the end, if you keep working at it and do multiple layers, you'll come out with a beautiful image. Um, I think right now there's 3 or 4 layers on the face. Can't remember. That was 3 weeks ago. You expect me to remember? Um, oh, Alex, I have seen your coloring. You, I don't see any ugly ducklings from you, hon. Um, I have seen your coloring. Um, and a great place to post. And again, I'm going to reference Emily. Emily has a Discord, and I think she started it as a way to, people to continue the chat after her coloring streams, but it has kind of become the coloring community's meet and greet place. Because although Facebook is awesome, I am not ditching Facebook. Uh, face, fa- Facebook is great, but um, Discord has its own unique um, contributaries, and Emily's Discord page is awesome because it has all kinds of channels in that. Hi, Kelly. How you doing? Oh my God, I think I just that sounded so Tanya to me. Um, but uh, Emily's is a great place. Emily's Discord is a great place to get coloring hints, ask questions, and get responses from beautiful, colorists that have been around for a while. So, and I don't know. I think Tammy's my um, only moderator in here. I'm not even sure if she's still with. She may be taking a shower. But hold on 1 second. I don't want to go out. Give me 1 second. Let me. Here is a link. As the link to Emily's Discord. There's other artists that actually have Discords, but for some reason Emily seems to be really really popular. Now I'm going back in with the mauve, and I'm going to try to do this ruffle in just 2 colors. And Emily, do not panic. Emily likes to use a 3-color color spread on her images. And I'm gonna try to just do this in 2. But as you can see, what I'm doing is just adding color, redarkening some of those darker spots, adding a little bit darker color to the edge to define this ruffle. Kind of, the second layer will be smoother than the first, and again, it's real light pressure. And I know people will say if you want to practice light pressure, get your hand back here. But I cannot color. I do not have control over my pencils whenever I go back real far, unless I'm doing a large area. Um, I have a tendency to want to choke out my pencils. Um, yes, I love the quote section. Oh my gosh. Um, so if you hear somebody say something good, you can always put in the quote section so that everybody who may not have been in the stream um, can join in on the fun. Usually get lots of great quotes from Emily and Tammy on there and Tammy's streams. Because let's face it, Tammy's just hilarious, and Emily is a hoot too. Um, sorry, I it's like, no, when you're live, you have to talk. Um, I'm waiting for a cat to come in. He's sitting in the doorway contemplating whether or not he wants to come in. He's not sure about the streaming thing. But as you add layers to a picture, especially if it's grayscale, that gray kind of goes away and it becomes the color that you're layering over it. I can remember Renee was talking about whenever she started out and showing pictures whenever she started out, and it's whenever I started out, I swore to myself that I would never ever do grayscale. I thought grayscale was cheating. It wasn't true coloring. I had all kinds of negative thoughts. I thought, what's the fun of coloring a page that all you have to do is put one color down and it's done? I have since learned grayscale is so much more than that. Um, and it's tricks in that. And now I have trouble coloring just a standard page. I love grayscale so much more. Um, Although I got a new book, and I am going to try something. Hold on one second. Yep. I broke down. I got a 3D coloring mandala book, and yeah, is that backwards to you guys? Am I reversed? And it's got shading already to make so that you know where to shade to make the mandalas 3D. So whenever I finish this lovely picture, the 3D mandala, which I have not done a mandala in probably over 2 years, is the next thing on my to-do list. Yeah, let's pick up the wrong pencil. Why is this going white? Riggs, honey, no. Now he wants to go out. And it's like, no, you're just going to have to wait. Hi, baby. Hi. Guess he's back. Oh, camera shy. Come here. Come here. There you go. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi. Okay, got you back to coloring, honey. Up there. No, my only advantage is Briggs cannot jump up in my lap. Um, Unlike Paul, Emily's Paul. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. Go for a ride. Um, oh, my favorite coloring book. I don't have a favorite coloring book. I have some favorite artists that I love to do more. Christine Karen is probably one of my uh, um, my favorites. Um, Mariana but Buttock is another go to. Um, I admit that my forte is portraits and faces. I really enjoy doing them. Um, I just finished um, the Buddy Cut Along from Circle of Life, and that took me so long to do. Um, because I'm just coloring flowers is kind of a um, difficulty for me. I don't know why, um, but getting a composition of a flower is difficult for me. But I can do faces all long. Christine Karen does have some coloring books. If you want to check her out, she sells them on Amazon. But I do a lot of PDF uh, downloads and print them so I can print them on the paper of my choosing. Um, Although I have to admit that I have started buying some of the books everybody is coloring in, the 10 by 10s, and my printer won't print a 10 by 10. So I've been actually coloring in those. But I have to be in the right mood to be able to color anything but a portrait. Um, and I admit it's probably a downfall of mine, but I just love portraits and that. I know the word I'm trying to say and I can't say it. But then again, I think it's because portraits, painted portraits in oil color is probably one of my favorite things. I can spend hours at the art museum looking at portraitage. Oh my god, I can't talk. Pictures of portraits and portraits of people, and dissecting them in my mind on color layers and that to get the skin tone. It's probably my favorite thing to do. Um, Although with the current situation, I haven't been able to get to the art museum. I usually go 3 or 4 times a year, and I've not been since before this whole pandemic has started. Um, I miss my trips over to the art museum and spending hours just kind of mulling around. Um, yes, I'm an art geek. Um, I admit that I'm an art geek, but I think that's why I like doing portraits so much. Is because it's my favorite type of picture to look at, to enjoy. Um, and Emily does Joanna Basford, and I just can't compete. Um, I always say it, but it's so hard to do. You're not supposed to compare yourself to anyone else, and you really shouldn't compare your coloring with anybody else's. But I just cannot compete with Emily whenever it comes to Joanna Bassford. Um, she just she gets the artist. Uh, it's very much in her style. Um, and her wheelhouse. And you can tell that she actually really enjoys coloring her Joanna's items. I admit I struggle with Joanna. It's just not. I've done a couple of her pages and I have fun, but then I look at them and it's like Emily could have done such a better job. Um, so I've redarkened my spots. Azure markers. I've heard of them, but I don't have never. I've never used them. Um, Dana, if you're planning on purchasing markers, um, I would highly suggest a brush tip alcohol marker. Um, Invest the money in a brush tip. Um, Emily has done a review on the Arteza brush tip markers that they just came out with. And Emily, you're going to have to refresh me on the actual name of those markers. And they seem to do really lay down nicely. But any alcohol markers you will get bleed through, so be aware of that fact. But I much prefer using alcohol markers to water-based markers. Um, Again, it's the water thing. Water is not my friend. Emily, Everblends. Okay, the Everblend, Arteza Everblend markers. Uh, they're beautiful. Watching Emily use them, the colors are outstanding. Yeah, they're a little bit more pricey than a cheaper marker, but sometimes you just pay for quality. Um, I have a set of the Ahuhu brush tips, um, which I absolutely love because I didn't know if I would like using markers. Um, and I ended up going ahead and getting a set of the Ahuhu. Ahuhu? That's a fun name to say. Um, and I love them. My next big purchase as far as art supplies is going to be starting on my collection of Copics. But that's going to be at least a year away before I do that. Um, yeah, I think she's coming along. Um, I'm liking how the ruffle is turning out. It definitely is looking like a ruffle. Um, okay, I didn't know the Azure markers were from Walmart. Um, Riggs, go lay down. And as you can tell, I kind of changed my position on my pencil and I'm laying down on the side, with the side, because I'm covering a large area, and I've already got one coat down, so I'm just laying down a second thin coat. And I was catching myself smashing the pencil down too hard, laying out too much color. So I moved back on my pencil and just laying down with the side of my pencil, because you can't, it's really hard to smash in color um, if you've got your pencil sideways to the paper. And it's the easiest way if you're doing large spaces to get the color down in a very light, uniformed um, uniformed fashion, unless you just sit there and go over one spot over and over like I just did. Um, and I know that there's a little variances in this. I'm although we like to think material is perfect, it never is. There's always a little bit of variance in the material, so you want to make it. Uh, I'm very much a realistic artist, or colorist, I should say. Not even close to an artist. So in real life, even though they say material is all the way same color, there's always a slight variance in it. Okay. I'm checking the time. Oh my goodness, an hour has flown by already. Um, and I know my boss is not going to interrupt me today because he went down to the lake for the holiday weekend. So he is where he does not have self service. Yay! Um, so it'll make a relaxing weekend for me since I will not have to answer boss issues and questions this weekend, which always is a bonus. Okay. It's always great whenever you can kind of have your boss not be available during the weekend. That way you don't have to work. Um, Sorry. Let me just yawn in your ear. How rude. Okay. Whenever I stop and pause in my talking, I'm thinking, we've gotten 2 layers of each color down. Now I'm going to go back in some of these darker spots where the material is overlapping. And although I put, I'm just putting a third layer of the lighter color to define it a little bit more, give it a little bit more texture and down. And I'm not bringing it all the way out. I'm kind of blending a little bit, a third layer of the lighter up into from the dark up into the lighter section to give it a little bit more depth. I'm not even sure if you guys can see the difference that doing this third layer is making and how it looks. Apologize. I am a page turner. It's another thing. I'm really glad that my animals do not get up on my desk. I would have to seriously get after them if they did. So just bringing some of those darker areas out a little bit more without introducing another color. Especially where these folds of material fold over each other. It's going to be a little bit darker, but not necessarily dark. No, I'm not yawning. It's just a figment of everybody's imagination that I'm yawning on screen. And again, clothing to me is one of those items that you can just color and color and color until you get the right shade that you're looking for. So, what do you think? Is that a good ruffle or not? Really, Dee, what's going on? And I have not used the blender on this yet. So let's start with the shell. And this is my shells are not, as I said, shells are not my do not claim to be a shell expert. In any way, shape, or form. But this time I'm going to actually get several pencils out. See, I kind of think, yeah. And I'm going to start with Pompeian Red. Oh my goodness, that's a name and a half. And go in with on some of these dark areas, defining this. And again, I'm just making a light amount on the shell, and I'm being attacked by a fly. So if you suddenly see me doing all kinds of gestures, it's because I have a fly has shown up in my office. and is harassing me. Hopefully he will get on, get the heck out of here. Another great way, and I don't have a reference photo pulled up for the shell. I'm just going to make it in a definite Evelyn shell. Um, and as you can tell, one more time, I am putting off actually doing the darn pearls. Tammy is awesome. Tammy's just awesome in every way, shape, and form. I'm going to go around these little pearls in here. Make that a little bit darker with the same color. And I'm going to do her shell around her neck in a similar fashion. Finding some of those ridges on the shell. Again, I'm doing very, very light. Lucy, neither my dog or either of my cats will chase a freaking fly. Honest to goodness, it's like, this is your job. You're supposed to be taking care of these things for me, and they'll just look at me and watch the fly land on stuff, and it's like, really, dude, you're supposed to be the big bad hunters. Kill the darn fly already. But alas, it never happens. Yeah. Oh, I've moved to. On my pencil, it says dark flesh. I know it. I think it's salmon in the on the new Faber Castells. Faber Castells about 6 months ago, or maybe longer, decided to rename some of their colors, and I had stocked up. So all the ones I have in my bag of tricks are the old Faber Castell names, like Flesh and Dark Flesh and that. And I understand why they did it, because it's, it is a Faber Castell type of day. But just didn't make sense, did it? Okay. And a little more pink in. And I had pulled out the Ivory. I think I'm going to go a little I'm going to add a little bit of the cream in here to add a little color to this before I slap down that ivory on top of everything. It may not look like a real shell whenever I get done. But it will be my shell. Yeah, Brucey, I just, they will watch the flies. It's like, no, you're supposed to be chasing them and killing them for me. And I have not had flies in my house all year until this last week. All of a sudden, I have this influx of house flies, and it's like, I don't know where they came from. I wish they'd go back to wherever they came from. Because they're becoming annoyingly bothersome. But as you can see, I'm adding a little more color to the shell. Actually, I think oyster shells are gray in color, but my rules, I can make shells any color I want. I just went blank brained. Yeah. Ruthie, I had a cat who was a great mouser. He was an awesome mouser. He never ate the mice, but he would catch them, crunch them up until they were little sacks of broken bone and mush. Wet little sacks of broken bone and mush, I should add. And then put them where I would have to step on them. Now I've moved on to ivory. And I'm using the ivory I'm going over everything with the ivory. I don't know if you can tell. Which the ivory actually helps it blend a little bit. But on something like this, you have to kind of go along with the shape of the shell and just go for it. I used to live in an apartment. It was a mother-in-law's apartment, which, if you don't know what a mother-in-law's apartment is, it's like an attached, full, like small apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, um, with a kitchen and a living room. And it was my first grown-up space on my own, and the problem with it was it backed up to some woods that backed up to some sort of field. beyond the woods. So I had so many mice come in because this was not the best kept property. But hey, the rent was $200 a month. And whenever you're young and you're just starting out, $200 a month is pretty darn reasonable for rent. Okay. For right now, I think I'm going to go stop on the outer part of the shell. And no, I did not forget the interior. I am going to take a gray. I did miss this outer edge of shell here. And since the inside of oysters, which are what produces pearls, is usually a gray white, I'm going to just go over the red that I put down and the rest of non-pearl items in this gray. Nose itch. I will try not to sneeze on stream. But anyway, back to my cat story. So I had this apartment had mice up, and as my cat Fabian, who was my cat at the time, was an awesome mouser. But yeah, there's not the apartment had the bedroom and living room was upstairs, and then there was a flight of stairs down to the kitchen and bath and laundry room. There is nothing in this world that will wake you up faster at we early hours of the morning, because I used to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to get ready for work, because I started work over on the far side of St. Louis. It was, I think, 45 miles away. At 7 o'clock, so I'd get up ungodly. But my significant other at the time didn't have to get up that early. His work was, he didn't start work until later. I have switched to cool gray 4. But walking down the steps and stepping on something wet and squishy and furry will wake you up. I mean, there is no end ifs about it. It is one way to wake up and be wide awake, even if you don't want to be. But unfortunately, that was many a year ago. And my kitty at the time is no longer with us. How's the shell looking? Okay. And I purposely did not do the base, because the shells that produce pearls are usually abalone, and abalone has this beautiful blue green mixture of color in their upper part of the shell, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. I do not guarantee that this will work, but I am going to go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then my bad. Um, that's why God invented erasers. I'm putting pencils away. I am not like Emily. Um, I love you, Emily. You know I love you, Emily, but oh my God. Your desk, whenever you're coloring, would drive me absolutely batty. The first color I laid down was Cobalt Green, 156. This is light green, 171. And you'll have to forgive me if I forget to say the pencil numbers. I haven't quite got the whole stream, not stream, scheme of remembering to announce colors. Eventually, it will become second nature, I'm sure. And now I'm going to go with kind of a light blue and add in there. I'm just kind of randomly putting it in, trying to get that abalone type look. What do you think? Yeah, Emily, I adore your coloring, but yeah, I gotta put away my pencils. Okay, I cannot put it off any longer. Hi, baby. I am petting Riggs because he wants to go out, and it would take me 10-15 minutes to take him out, and I'm not going to do that. Sweetheart, you need to go lay down. Puppy kiss. Get your puppy kiss. You want a puppy kiss? Yes. Okay. And I've been thinking about it a lot. This picture has been no. Are you gonna bark? You look like you're gearing up to bark. Are you gonna bark? Okay. Everyone, Rick says hi. Right, sweetheart. Go lay down. Go. This is Cool Gray 1. I'm going to start small. And I'm just putting the Cool Gray 1 in where the grayscale shadowing is on these pearls. And I admit I'm pressing probably harder than I should. And I apologize if that was really loud. He is half Dalmatian and half Labrador Retriever. He is a rescue puppy. And the only reason I know what he is I had a DNA test run on him. Because whenever I adopted him, they told me he was pit bull and something else. He is not in any way, shape, or form pit bull. You look at him and you can tell he's not pit bull. I am now going with Pink Madden Lake, which is 129. I'm going to sharpen that. Bye, Kelly. He definitely has Dalmatian, but he doesn't have all the markings of a Dalmatian. He but he has spots on him. He's got one on the back of his neck that looks like a little heart, which I absolutely positively adore. It's probably my favorite spot on him. But yeah, he's super intelligent, very active, and he wants mommy's attention right now. So what I'm doing is I'm making these kind of pink pearls to go along with her pink hair. Am I in frame? Yeah, I'm in frame. And I'm just adding a little bit of pink to these pearls around where I put the gray. Wendy, I will give him lots of hugs and scratchies around the ears. Since I broke my toe last night, we were out on the front porch, just kind of chilling on the front porch, just taking in the evening air, and he decided to come over and sit his 75-pound butt onto my broken toe, and then give me the oddest little look whenever I screamed at the top of my lungs. I pulled out the Polychromo white, but I'm not going to be happy with how it does. So I'm taking my Prisma white and kind of smushing around. Kind of smushing those colors around and mixing them. You even see what I'm saying. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Forgive me. Go for a ride. There. Is that really out of focus that bad? Unfortunately, I cannot focus this camera. Hi, Corey. Alex, I have a friend that has two pit bulls that are. I used to before I got rigs. My philosophy in life, and I'm going to stop coloring because I'm going to tell you my philosophy in life. There is nothing in life that is so bad that it can't be made better with puppy kisses and grape soda. So whenever I was having bad days before I got rigs, I would go down. I would call my friend who lives down the street and say, "I need puppy kisses." And I would go to her house and I would sit down on her front porch, and she'd let her two pit bulls out, and I would get oodles and gobs of puppy kisses. And she actually started buying a 6-pack of grape soda for me. And this was back whenever before my current boss took over, and I had much more bad days than I do now. So can you see what I'm doing, or is it just too blurry? I'm going to bring you back up. I'm not happy with how out of focus that is. And until I need to get my other camera up and running where I can actually focus my camera. But I don't know if you can see what my pearls are going to... They have a pink tinge to them. I'm making them pink pearls. So now let's tackle the rest of these. Dana, I have two cats and a dog too. The cats are usually don't come in whenever I'm coloring. They used to do a Sir Paul on me and sit on me whenever I was coloring and sit on my pages. But since I've moved my coloring back to my craft room, they don't particularly like it in my craft room. There's too many things that they can bump and knock over and scare them. What I think I'm going to do is change my mind, take a little bit darker gray and kind of go over and put some shadowing in these pearls, kind of define them a little bit more, especially the ones that are closer. And I am not an expert on pearls and bubbles. Um, I they are a weakness. Corey, you said something about having a art lesson. If you can do pearls or uh, bubbles, I'm all in. Um, Coloring optimistic is colorfully optimistic. Oh my goodness, I can't even. It has a coloring channel, and if you become a member at a certain level, she offers some art lessons. And I have yet to prevail myself of her talents. And it's just because of my work schedule and in that so far. Um, in fact, uh, I'm more than likely going to be working later this weekend, so I'll be lurking in streams on tomorrow or Monday because it's the last month of the quarter, um, and it just comes with the job. Um, and so that's the only reason I have not prevailed her. Plus, I can't figure out exactly what I want her to teach me. I'm really bad about that. But yeah, my neighbors right next door to me just adopted the most beautiful pit bull. She is gorgeous. Valerie is her name, which I think is an awesome name for a dog. Um, she is almost a honey, a light honey tan and white pit bull. Um, and she has the best slobbery kisses, I'll tell you. Briggs and her actually get along. They last weekend, which was her first weekend being owned. Riggs and her played in the backyard for over 2 hours together. Yes, yeah, you wanted to put you, yeah, um, which was awesome. And Emily, I just broke a tip, so you know that you're not the only one that breaks tips. Um, but they played together, had a blast. So they actually get along really well. Of course, Riggs gets along with most dogs, and boy, I just really broke a tip that time. Um, and but they played and romped, and then came in totally and completely exhausted, or Riggs did, and fell asleep and had a good night, good nap. Again, I'm just touching. I don't want the pearl solid pink, But I want that hint of a pink pearl look. And the reason I chose pink pearl is one, because of her pink hair, and plus I think the pink pearls in her hair will look in her blonde hair will look really, really awesome. No, I have not forgotten the necklace. Baby, you're just going to have to wait another 20 minutes. Okay? Yes, honey. He's looking at me like, come on, Mom. Okay, let's. So, I don't even know if you can tell that I'm putting color down on these pearls in her ears. I will do it a little bit darker in the pearls on her head. That sounded bad. Pearls on her head. I want to get the pearls on her head and then do the seaweed. I may not finish the necklace on stream. It's because I really don't want to do a fourth stream on her. I want to go ahead and wrap her up. And get so I'm going to be you can see I'm kind of going over that gray with the pink. Well, no, you can't see because I'm out of frame. Yeah, there. Now you can see what I'm doing. Yes. Kind of going over and on top and interior to the pearl with the pink. Making little hatch marks, I guess. Not probably being much more ungentle and unprecise is what I should be on this, but sometimes doing a little scribble coloring is good for the soul. Yep, missed one. And I'm taking my white and just smushing. You not see that? I did not break my Prisma white. Kind of smushing and bringing that pink out around. Since I'm using the Prisma, it kind of smears that pink to make the whole thing. Bye, Katrina. And I apologize. I'm not as good as Emily is at check and chat. I'll get there, guys. I promise. Yeah, Renee's dog is beautiful. I got to see a picture. I got to see Renee's dog. Renee's dog is beautiful and well behaved. Much better behaved than what Riggs is. How's she looking? How's the pearls looking to you guys? If I'd been thinking clearly, I would have done the pearls all in Prismas so I could really smoosh. with the Prisma white, it does smush the polychromos and blend them together. I'm going to leave the necklace for off stream. So I'm actually not going to put my pencils away, Emily. Are you proud of me? I did not put my pencils away. Okay. I am going to do the seaweed. And I think I'm going to do them in light phthalo green, which is 162. I'm going to start with this. No, I'm going to not start with the light. I'm going to start with the dark. And I'm going to go with phthalo green, which is 161. Going to do the dark in the dark areas in the phthalo green. Hi, did you bring me a toy? Did you bring me a toy? He brought me a toy. Go get it. He's like, you're paying attention to other people and not me, Mom. Let's go outside the colors. Yes, I got it. Yes. You going to give it back to me so I can throw it again? Oh, I can't color. There. When in doubt, use a thing of Mod Podge to hold your page if you're trying to play with a dog and color at the same time. Because I don't want him going off and barking. I'm sorry, I can't color. There, go get it. Well, you didn't bring back. Where'd you go? It's sitting in the doorway. Yeah, Mommy's not paying attention to Mr. Riggs, and Mr. Riggs is getting a little anxious. He wants Mommy's attention. Man, oh man. It's called not being able to color in the line. Hey, Angie, I'm sorry I missed you coming in. Hold on 1 second, guys. Go get it. There, I can throw better with my right hand. Mommy's left hand throw is not very good, and it doesn't go as far. That's you. Yes, Are you going to talk to everybody? Hold on 1 second. Are you going to talk to everybody? Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. And that was your dog entertainment for today. Now that I can, I don't know where the toy went. Oh, it went behind me. Arr. Okay, however, you'll get it. This is called playing with the dog and coloring. And this is my normal everyday life, is playing with the dog and coloring. Well, you didn't bring it back. I can't play with you, and you're I acknowledge you were here. You need to calm down, baby. Again, I'm just doing light layers. Now I'm going to go do the light phthalo green. You can tell Riggs has kind of rattled me. We'll go out in it whenever I finish streaming, baby, okay? It hasn't been that long since you were out. So I know you're okay. You just want my attention. Okay. I'm sorry, Renee. Riggs does not have an indoor voice. He is 100% volume 100% of the time. I apologize. He does not have an inside voice. I have tried to teach him. I have tried to teach him quiet voice, and he looks at me like, no, this is my voice, and this is how I'm going to talk. And it's like he's loud and boisterous. He doesn't bark very often, but he loves being the center of attention. So, and he's kind of like, you're not paying attention, so I'm going to bark at you. Won't bark at the people delivering things to my door. People can come up and knock on my door. He doesn't bark. But he'll bark at me if he wants my attention. He's such a strange, wonderful little doggy. He just turned 4. Last month, you turned 4. Yes, you're getting to be an old dog. Am I even in stream? Yeah, I'm in camera range. And Wendy, I don't blame you for not being being called Wind. That would be my mother. Whenever she named me Evelyn, thought that there's not she won't have a nickname. I had more nicknames growing up than a lot of my friends. The most popular one is Ev. Yeah. And but I've had a million nicknames. But my mom's theory was she didn't want her children to be called anything but their given name. I hate to tell her, God love her, bless her soul, but that didn't work. All of us kids had nicknames, except for my oldest sister. I don't think she ever had a nickname. So, I don't ever remember anybody calling her by her given name. But my brother and other older sister, we all had nicknames, shortening them our names. Okay. Now, I know I'm going to have to finish the bubbles and the pearls. But before we go, which I've got like 4 minutes, I want to do something, and I've lost what I was going to work with. Yes, you see a paint palette, and of course, my paintbrush is nowhere to be found. I had it sitting out, and I moved it, and now I can't find it. Isn't that the way it always works? There it is. I have some iridescent alcohol ink. Hi, baby. And I'm hoping this actually works. I'm going to put a drop because this stuff goes a long way. And I have a brush. I'm going to take and dampen my brush in the iridescent alcohol ink. And I think I'm going to do the pearls down here. Just the camera. I apologize. I'm taking you guys for all kinds of rides today. And I'm going to paint these pearls with the iridescent alcohol ink to give them a little bit of shimmer. And I should probably do another dot because this alcohol ink dries up really fast. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on my fingers where I got it on my fingers. But I'm just doing the pearls, and that will give them a shimmery shine. I'm going to move this over real fast. Let's see if I can get that on camera. The 3 in the thing, I don't know, can you guys see the... Now she's in focus. Can you see the shimmer on the pearls there? It just gives it a little bit of shimmer shine. And this little bottle of ink, this little bitty bottle of ink probably cost me $6. But as you can see, I'm using just a touch, but it adds a great shimmer to pearls. And I will do that on the bubbles too. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these pearls. I got my brush wet. The alcohol ink came from Amazon. And if you want a little bit more shiny, you can put a little bit more on. But you kind of have to work quick because it will dry. The alcohol evaporates in the ink, and it dries up in the palette really kind of fast. Okay. Let me show you. Can you see the shimmer on the pearls. Kind of gives it that iridescent-y look. So I'm going to call it a day, and I will finish up the pearls of her necklace. I'm going to do the bubbles. I'll probably do them in the same manner, but instead of pink, using a blue for the bubbles, and then do a light blue pastel background, and this picture will be done. As I said, I don't want to do a fourth stream with this, so I'm going to call it almost done. And I want to thank everybody for hanging in there. And thank you for joining me on the stream. And I know Tammy's not streaming after me, but I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. Riggs out before he starts barking at us again. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you all in the few streams coming later this afternoon. Thanks, guys. Bye.